Hello, I am Harry Hawk from Imperial Comics and Games in Shelby, North Carolina. You should come and visit my store as well. Today we are talking about Duel Commander. Duel Commander is an alternative commander format designed by a bunch of very passionate people who really like playing a 100-card Highlander with a commander in the command zone, but would rather do it in a traditional Magic sense where you're playing a 1v1 20-life format. Other differences include it has a wider card pool and a more strict ban list in terms of fast mana and your typical legacy and vintage staples. It also offers some nuance that normal Highlander wouldn't offer you. So you don't get a sideboard in this format, but between games in a best of 3 match, you are allowed to swap your commander out with another legendary in your deck who shares the same color qualities as the commander that you started with. This gives you an edge in certain matchups if you wanted to. For example, if you're running a Selesnya deck and you go into a control matchup, for game 2 you could switch to Gaddock Teague provided you had one in your deck. Other interesting things are there is no commander damage as you start with 20 life, so dealing 21 damage with a commander doesn't come up except in hedge cases. And as of recently, they've just introduced a new rule for partners. So they've actually unbanned a few of the stronger partners from the ban list because for a while they were really strong and oppressive, but since the rules have changed, they're a lot more reasonable because in Duel Commander, whenever you have 2 objects in your command zone, once you have cast one of the objects from your command zone, you are locked into that object and you may not cast the other commander from your command zone. They only offer the colors. Now, you can still get them out with other effects like, I believe it's called Hellkite Courser. There's a dragon that can just yeet your commander out of the command zone into play. That's not casting it, that's just doing a thing. So that's still legal, but once you have cast one, you are locked into one. So a good option would be if you like any of the partners, but you want to just throw an extra color in there, you could play maybe Bruce Tarl with a Prismatic Piper to offer black. I don't recommend using Prismatic Piper, or if you do, scribble out the art, but that's an option that you can take. We, as a store, are going to be running our second ever Duel League coming up on March 14th is going to be the cutoff date. It's going to be $25 for entry. Grand prize is going to be a box of Modern Horizons 2 draft boosters, and prizes for second and onwards down are going to be based on a top 8 structure, and then pretty much everybody will be receiving at least an F&M promo pack of the current set, and more than likely a promo card, or multiple promo cards provided we have the resources. Cutoff date will be the 14th because how this works is we are taking this rather seriously as a competitive Magic the Gathering format, and if you're unfamiliar with a league structure, this is where we're going to talk about that. So a league is going to take place over a month. It's going to be one big tournament where each week is a different round of the tournament. You don't all have to meet on like a Friday for Friday Night Magic to play your games. All you have to do is look at a Discord server, which will be provided in the link in the description, and look into the pairing sections. I'll be posting your pairings every week. You just look there, you find out whose username that you're supposed to be fighting. You DM that person, you say, hey, what day are you free? You play your game of Magic. We would recommend that if you're playing in person, we recommend that you play in the store so that we can officiate it with a judge. We also have private voice channels in the Discord server so that you can remote play games if accessibility is an issue or someone is out of town for a week or something. And we also have judges that you can just hit up on our Discord server and they'll pop right into your game and watch you do your game. All you have to do then is submit your results before Tuesday of the next week, and we can just keep this bad boy going. So I'm really passionate about Duel Commander because I really deeply enjoy the difficulty of building a Highlander deck in Magic the Gathering because since the game has such a large card pool, I find it really interesting to, rather than play 4 copies of one card, look for 5 different cards that all have the different name but basically the same words on them. I find that deeply interesting, and as a Hogak player, that's most of my deck is Guy That Makes Token, Deserted Traveler, Lazotep Reaver, etc. Plus card that puts cards in graveyard, Mulch, Life from the Loam, any card with Dredge on it. It's very interesting to me. And so While Highlander doesn't have a lot of momentum here, especially in our area, Commander does. And so I feel like this is a great way to introduce new players who may not have an understanding or an edge in a competitive game, give them a chance to actually play a serious competitive game of Magic. Because where in FNM you sit down across from your opponent and you don't know what they're playing and you have to kind of take a guess, this you actually will be aware, because when you sign up in the Discord server, you actually submit your deck list to the judges, and we will provide it all to everybody once the tournament starts on a big spreadsheet. So whenever you know what your opponent is, you can actually go and look at your opponent's deck list, and your opponent can look at yours, because our decks will be set in stone during the month. And it lets you take some time to actually plan ahead of time and know what you're looking for, and it gives a lot more nuance to the game, in my opinion. We're also allowing proxies for the tournament. We know that not everybody can afford to build the craziest, silliest decks in the game, and I don't expect you to just come in here and buy like a Bazaar of Baghdad for a deck for one tournament. So 5 proxies will be allowed during the tournament. Whenever you submit your deck list to me, please tell me which of your cards are your 5 proxies, and we'll be cool. You can proxy literally anything provided it's legal in the format. I'm personally proxying a Bazaar of Baghdad. There's also someone who's proxying a Soul Warden because they couldn't find one. Cool, bye. I deeply recommend, if you've never played in a competitive sense for Magic, give it a whirl, especially if you're just like a fun Commander player. This is a great format to test cards that aren't good in normal pod Commander. You ever wanted to cast Thoughtseize in Commander? You ever wanted to cast Lightning Bolt at someone's face and have it matter? Because it's sweet. Trust me, modern players will tell you as well, it's rad. Other than that, please come on down to our store, check us out. We've got Kamigawa in stock right now. We've got all the new Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and etc. sets, but I know this is more of a Magic the Gathering thing, so come on down, check us out, come play some games with us. Other than that, y'all have a great one, and I'll see you next time.